that was loud.
What are you trying to do to your ear?
There we
And
go.
still, just want to share this real quick.
I don't think that's the movie we're watching tonight, but that's a great movie.
God, I love the soundtrack. I don't care. I'm a 90s kid, so it fits perfect.
Yeah, no, that's
Ah,
God, that's a good soundtrack. Yeah, I love it when he's delivering the pizza, and he's like, "Watch out, police, pizza man coming through. Police got to eat too. I don't want to
I'm
leave it
going to
with Shamu over there." Yeah,
chomp it up. I just want to share real quick because I haven't had time to film anything at all, including my opening of my Part 7 Jason back there, which I still haven't done. I haven't done that. But I wanted to take this opportunity to share with the class something John was kind of jealous of that I'm really, really happy to finally own. $7 on Amazon, people. If you don't have it and you're a horror fan, just go snag it. I think the Blu-ray was 14, give or
yeah,
take.
14.99, something like that. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. I really like Terrifier, but the only reason I would buy Terrifier on Blu-ray, and this goes for a lot of movies, and especially Terrifier wouldn't be for the quality upgrade necessarily, because the movie itself is very grindhouse, very pixelated. You know what I'm saying? It's grainy, very
Yeah.
bare bones. So it doesn't really need 1080p. The only reason I would buy it in 1080p is because Blu-rays last longer. They don't have the disc rot like DVD does as much. They don't scratch as easy. That's the only reason I would pay the extra couple bucks for Blu-ray. But I do think it's an easy all-day purchase on DVD for that price.
Yeah, and I also got Sinister for $4, which
Nice.
I've wanted Sinister for a while. I feel like I even passed up the 2 pack for like $7 at one point, but I just had like $5 extra at that point, and I was like, yeah, I'll get Sinister. It was DVD and digital. I don't mind. I agree. If I had a little bit more money, I would like to up my Blu-ray collection, but I'm kind of saving those at the moment. I'm waiting for those to come back down, but as we all have seen, that's not exactly what's happening. The Halloween 6 thing is freaking me out on the inside.
Dude, the Halloween 6, man, the from the collector's box set from 2016 or whatever it was, somebody was selling it. So it had the theatrical and producer's cut. They were selling it for $30. And I asked him, I was like, hey, would you take 22 just because I was being a jerk? And like when I went back to just buy it, I was like, whatever. I just sold my Blu-ray copy, single Blu-ray for almost 60. I was like, I'll just buy it. It was gone. I was like, but
Yeah. I mean,
you know, in 2 minutes it's gonna be out on 4K. Like you know
well,
that that's the next one coming out. Shout or Scream Factory is gonna do it.
there was also the cut that was released recently with the VHS cover, and I
It's the
think
same
it
one.
had,
It's the same
yeah,
one. What we have.
but it was a better boxing, and I've seen that one going for like 120, and I don't, okay. The cut that we're talking about that was sold for a higher price than it should have been is this. This originally was only available in the box set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It originally was only available in the box set, and then they were like, no, and surprise released it to the Walmart $5 bin. And I got a copy, you got a copy, I think everybody got a copy. I'm pretty sure that in most of the horror social media groups, people were like, hey, it's only $5. You don't have to buy the whole kit. Because I feel like every box set has a hook for one movie in particular. In Halloween's case, it was the producer's cut of Halloween 6. Whether or not you actually liked it, you wanted to see it. Like, that's how I am with Halloween 5.
Well, but it also the hook for the box set. It also had the television cut of Halloween and Halloween 2. So that was another big draw, which is the reason why I bought them on 4K, because I didn't buy the 4K, uh, the 2018 4K. I just didn't buy it. I had it on Blu-ray. I was like, I'm good. But I bought this one because it's got the Blu-ray from the original color timing. It's got the new 4K 2021 scans, and it's got the television DVD cut. So you get all
Yeah.
three for $25. You can't beat that. I mean, it went up. It went up today. They're back up to $36 on Amazon.
Yeah.
But
I think
other than that,
Walmart and Best Buy still have them at like 27, 28.
yeah, I mean they're a deal for that price. But I mean, I did buy, dude. I bought Halloween 1, Halloween 2, the vinyls, the posters. Didn't get it today. I also bought the steelbook and the poster that I showed you, the Halloween 2 steelbook and poster. It was supposed to arrive today. Says it'll be here tomorrow. I'm like, God
Man,
dang.
my Halloween 5, I got tracking for it. It still has not shipped.
Yeah,
I got tracking for it on the 4th. And I get it. They're having some supply and demand issues.
right.
It happens whenever you have a limited release like this, and people are throwing a fit. I've seen it all over the internet today. Well, I ordered direct from Shop Factory and I don't have it yet. And then person B ordered it through Walmart or Amazon and they have their movie, but they didn't do the poster and all the add ons. And
Right.
people are mad at that. And it's like, well, they're shipping you a larger package
Yeah.
that they're not, you can't order from other places. So, I mean, I get it. It's a little frustrating, but at the same time,
Right.
it's kind of how these pre-orders work.
Right, guys. Like, take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I put up I have the Scream Factory, the two clamshells box set.
Mhm.
So I've I've sold two of those box sets, and now I only have the first 1 through 5. And I posted it. I think I might just keep it because I don't think I'm gonna buy Halloween 3 on 4K. I might eventually. I don't think I'll buy Halloween 4 or 5 on the 4K until the prices drop, probably. So I might pull that and just keep it. To be honest with you, I don't want to watch Halloween. If they go back in and somehow digitally, like deep fake the mask for Halloween H2O, I'll buy it on 4K. But I don't. I watched Halloween H2O on Blu-ray, on the Scream Factory Blu-ray. I'll never watch it again. Absolute
I mean,
trash. The mask is always in your face, changing from minute to minute. The mask changes sometimes, and it yanks you out of the movie so much.
it's kind of sad because H2O is arguably one of the better sequels. And sorry, I got some allergy stuff going on, and so I'm just gonna keep poking myself in the eye. Apparently, it itches like crazy. Um, H2O is one of the better sequels, but the older I've gotten, the more I can see the errors in the film, especially with the mask. Like I saw it when it came out. I saw the errors there, but it wasn't as glowingly bad the better the cuts have gotten. And
And
yeah, I still haven't seen it in Blu-ray or on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD. I used to have VHS. And honestly, I would love to upgrade to Blu-ray or 4K for all the Halloween films, but I'm honestly not hooked on the prices that keep coming with the Halloween films for that. Every once in a while, like that 3-pack was like $12.99. I think it hiked back up recently too. I think I
right.
saw it for $30 on eBay.
Yeah, I think Amazon's still cheaper. I think Amazon's more in the $17 range.
People are going crazy. That it's insane.
Right. Well, yeah, that's. I mean, I feel bad about selling my producer's cut a little bit, but I prefer the theatrical. I have the producer's cut on digital for however long until that gets ripped away from me. Which it is what it is. I'm not whatever. But I have to assume that if they did 1 through 5, 6, H2O, Resurrection, all those are coming soon. I've got to imagine. But
Yeah.
you're gonna have to be. There's gonna have to be a pretty sweet box set or something for me to buy Rob Zombie's movies and for me to buy H2O and Resurrection on 4K. Like I'll buy Halloween 6 on 4K because I want the producer's cut. There's so much with that movie, the extras, all that stuff. A poster of H6, if they do it right, would be sweet. You know what I mean? Like, but I
Yeah.
just don't see myself ever wanting to upgrade, especially H2O because of the mask thing. Like, and I'm not a big fan of changing your movies, like whether it be the music or the color timing drastically. But the 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 mask, if it was digitally corrected, if it was deep faked, to me that serves the movie the way it should be instead of being jacked around. Like in Halloween 4, when Michael Myers has his pink mask with the blonde hair, if they were to fix that, I think that serves the movie. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not in there to be a joke. Like it was a mistake. I don't know.
No.
But I would want. Let me take that back. I would also want a copy of the original untouched version. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna
Oh,
mess with it, I want the untouched.
that's why you keep the old these guys on hand.
Well, but yeah, but if you're gonna go in and digitally upgrade it, but it's the same reason why I bought Star Wars on Blu-ray, right? That Blu-ray box set came out in 2014 or whatever it was, and it's only the George Lucas movies. Or I'm sorry, it's only the George Lucas remastered with extra crap in it movies. The only one you can get that is the original version is the DVD box set, which I also have. The 4Ks were remastered with the extra crap, remastered and revision of George Lucas, so I didn't buy them. Like, come
Yeah.
on, guys. Like, come on. You got to put in both versions of the movie if you're going to dink with it. Like, anyway, we'll switch gears here. I meant to bring that poster and show it to you that I bought too. Darn it! But oh yeah, real quick, yeah, I bought that Sinister pack. The I think the one you were talking about, but it was a 3-pack. It came with Cabin in the Woods, Sinister, and The Possession, I believe, and they came with the digital downloads too. I got it for like $8. I don't remember what it was on eBay. It was a super steal, brand new. I was like, yes, I will add that to cart and buy that right now.
Yeah, I've noticed. So there's some films that I've been looking at buying that aren't like wide release films, um, like The Minus Man, Wes Craven's cut of Carnival of Souls, Session 9, some other ones that are typically around $10. Um, and it sucks because like they're not fluctuating in price, and they do keep randomly selling out for months at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that those are also going to be films that are going to start just do because at some point whoever's printing them is going to go, it's not worth selling 40 units over the period of a year to print this anymore.
Well, and the
And I
thing that
just need
scares
to bite the bullet and do it.
the thing that scares me is so Screen Factory. I think they did a good job with the Halloween 4Ks, all the stuff that I know. But their artwork, the same guy that's been doing them for years, that he's not doing it anymore. People aren't really digging this new artwork as much as they did the previous Screen Factory stuff. And so Screen Factory really made its mark by being very meticulous to their movies and then giving a really good box art and a good slipcover. I like a slipcover just as much as the next normal dude, but some people freak out for slipcovers. It's crazy. But I feel like I don't know, man. Money talks, and right now DVD sales are still the highest. Blu-rays are still only like what is it, 15% of the market or something like that, and then 4Ks are like even lower than that. They're like 7% or something. So I don't understand how, and I hope they can make money on these old movies that are exactly big titles, big franchise, but I just don't know. I think the Blu-ray market, the discs and the effort that was put into those, it was marketable. It was financially beneficial for them to do it. I wonder how many of these old titles that they don't have a whole lot of love for, but have a small cult following, how much you can mass produce and make off that. And then also Scream Factory, if you look at them, man, if you don't get it when it comes out, if you don't pay the $25 or whatever it is when the movie first comes out, you give it a year, some of those go for 80, $90. Like I bought the
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and for $35, and then like in 6 months it was like at a 90. I was like, what's happening? So
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know.
and you also got to think about some of the films that never get picked up by like bigger sales companies or merchants, and then wind up on dollar store shelves where it costs them like $8 to make it, and then it sells for $1. Now, granted, there's money changing hands in between there, but if that movie's not selling on normal shelves or on normal websites, they're not going to continue to produce them. So then, I don't know. Uh, Let me pull a for instance. I picked this up at the dollar store a while ago. It's called Josie. It looks pretty good. I actually saw the trailer before I saw it there. Um, and it's got Dylan McDermott in it, which that man arguably is one of the most handsome men alive, and I hate him for it.
Ooh.
But
What's he from?
American Horror Story season 1,
Oh, the dad?
yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Woo-hoo.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a good looking
Um,
dude. You're right. Yeah.
but like this sat on a Walmart shelf for maybe 3 months and was like the $7-8 type of movie because it didn't get a big theatrical release. It considered indie, and the few people who picked that up, is that going to turn into the new $20-30 movie? Because it just is, because nobody bought it. It I don't know. This stuff's kind of blowing my mind, the direction it's going. Digital libraries are easier. They consume less space, but the way that the rights work out, and I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
It's
eventually,
I
like, look.
feel like it's just a crazy time to want to collect anything. From the figures, you and I have seen so many things happen with the figures. How frustrating has it been to walk into a store and see empty shelves because later that day you go online and all of them are skyjacked by about 3 times the original price?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what's happening with all your Target and Walmart exclusives, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. I know. I really want that McCready right now. If I had time today, I was going to run in and get a monster at Walmart and try to check it out, see if I couldn't find one, because I saw in the toy group I'm in that they had one. But real quick, last thing on physical media. Two things actually real fast. So you're talking about how the digital libraries and stuff like that. The thing that scares me is like look at Friday the 13th and the like you got the director, right, and then you got the screenwriter and the legal battles that's been going on there, right?
Mhm.
Who's to say like eventually whoever owns the right to these things, because they don't get paid for people that bought the digital downloads, and in turn to resell that digitally or physically, that cuts into their profit by people already owning it digitally. They might have a right to remove your ownership through Amazon or Voodoo or whoever you have.
Well,
And
that's no different than I think it's iTunes. Like after a certain number of like losses of your password, you can lose like certain amounts of songs or movies or whatever,
right,
or like a certain number of plays. I can't remember what exactly it was, but it was the reason why I never started downloading things with iTunes. Um, it, Technically, with the way digital libraries work, it just I don't know. I feel like it's too easy to. I mean, for instance, Ultraviolet. You remember when Ultraviolet was the big deal with the digital downloads?
mm-hmm.
And then they're like, we're going to migrate what of your library we can to um, Voodoo or to this or to that. I lost 2 movies.
Yeah,
They're just gone. Like, it's not a big deal because I have physical copies, but that 2 movies just gone. Just gone because they sold to a different company, and the way that the rights worked out, the other companies weren't able to facilitate that at that time.
right. Well,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, when yeah, Ultraviolet I think was going away. I got an email saying like, look, you need to move this, or it's going to be lost, and it only gave me like a month's window. Otherwise, I would have lost all my movies. So, I mean, it's one of those things where, too. Also, like I had a buddy, my best friend, collected movies just like me. Like I have probably as much now as he did 5 years ago. But when he passed away, a lot of his, well, like half of his movies were digital downloads. And when he passed away, like, I mean, I know this is like not important when it comes to like that, but those movies are gone. Like, you can't sell them, you can't relive them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometime in the future, like I don't know, my kids and I, we grow up with stuff like this. If they have an attachment to this stuff like I do, I might like put a little note in there. Like we watched the movie, I might put a little note in there saying, "Hey, we watched this day. We had a great time. He didn't like it," and I might save that for myself or for him down the road. That stuff's just gone. And I know that's not as important to some people having this like physical library of movies, but to me, it's
Yeah.
important. Like some people put a lot of work into these. Like this is the
Yeah.
history of cinema.
And I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like it's the same thing that happened to books, what, in the past 10, 15 years. People going to the Kindle and the other digital book sources. And it put an impact on bookstores. It put an impact on the availability of books. Now, at this point, at least here in the Midwest, I feel like you have a better luck. You have better luck either doing um, audiobooks, digital download, or ordering a book from like Amazon. If you wanted to go to a store and preview a bunch of books and see if you wanted to get one, it's not gonna you don't have that much here. Or I think there's one bookstore in Overland Park and it's like a 10% markup. There's used bookstores, but that's a gamble.
Yeah,
Like you might walk in there and be like, no, no.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
my last little thing, then we'll get the movie started. Uh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Steelbook Blu-ray is on sale right now, I believe, for $11.99. So just letting you know, I've got
that
it.
brings
I almost bought a second copy, um, because I have the same one, but not in the Steelbook. Well, yeah, but that's the DVD.
It is. It kind of breaks my heart because I think I paid $12.99 for this, but at the same time, when I saw it on the shelf, and I was like,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
I've got I've got the same one, man. That Steelbook is not going anywhere because that Steelbook is awesome. The
yeah.
Steelbook for the Blu-ray is kind of weak compared to that one, but it's still pretty cool. I talked myself out of it because I've spent enough money this month on movies.
Man, I really got to reel it in. That um, Michael Myers Halloween 2 costume, I've honestly hit a point where I'm like, maybe I should not do this and return this crap.
Well, that's why,
I
man.
think
When you're
it
feeling
is
outstretched,
so
that's when you got to
expensive.
push back and like sell your like the Blu-ray of the producer's cut of Halloween, man. Right? You
It's
know
not
they're gonna come out with a Blu-ray or a 4K in the next year or so. Sell that bad boy now
honestly,
while it's hot.
I've thought about selling this whole get up.
Yeah, that's so good
But
though.
yeah, I won't sell this one because it's torn to shreds and disgusting, and I won't sell that one because it was a dream build. This one, I don't know. I can't bring myself to do it either because the supplier who made that blank mask and that one there, he's no longer making mask blanks due to a bunch of drama that has happened within the hockey mask community, and I do not blame him. And because of that, and I know he's going to lose a lot of money doing it, I actually sourced him, and I know it doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but I sourced him for my blood paint for the Michael Myers outfit. I was like, he makes a good hockey mask. He makes good paints. I can at least use that for that. You know,
Yeah.
something because I like his business and I want him to keep going somehow. Yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, you know me, man. That's all I do is grind because I just can't. I want everything. I want it all. And
yeah. I
I
think
mean,
I'm getting close to selling a small lot of figures.
I mean, that's only one side of the room.
Yeah, I have a modest small collection. Your collection is both terrifying and anxiety driven. Every time I've been to this dude's house, I've dropped a figure somehow. I don't know.
They come at you. Oh man, my turtle shelf, it fell. Oh, I was so sad. Nothing broke, thank God, but it I was super sad. Oh, dude, and then like remember I was having the um oh, I can't think, the Never Hike Alone Blu-ray behind me. It fell and a figure fell on it and dented the package. So pissed. So pissed.
So I don't know what happened, but my copy of, oh, is it Autopsy of Jane Doe? I think it is. No. My copy of Asylum Blackout. That's a movie we should cover. The case is like smashed. I don't know what happened. It happened between moving from house one to rental 400, and I don't know. I'm just so sad. My case is busted.
Yeah. Wait, was it Blu-ray or DVD?
DVD, and it's the clear case. I know I can buy a package of them off Amazon for like $10, but it's the principle.
Oh yeah, I got you. I got you. All right, man. Well, let's get this going here.
Are you on the root menu or are you paused?
I am on the menu, but since you're on DVD and I'm on Blu-ray, it's not gonna be the same thing. So let me hit play. We'll see where I can pause this thing. Got it. FBI anti-privacy warning.
Oh man, mine's got to go through the old Universal. Look.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, na, na, na.
Jaws 2. Shadow of the Vampire. Salem's Lot. Nutty Professor. Oh God, The Clumps is terrible. That is a god-awful, horrible movie.
Family Man's a good movie.
Mummy. So good. Okay, mine is doing the universal crawl. Hey man, you might want to turn that around. I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know how that works. Come on, baby. Let's go here.
I haven't seen Shadow of a Vampire, I think, since it came out. Let's see.
I've never seen it.
Oh, no. Why won't it pause?
Hold on. Okay, I'm
please.
paused on Haddonfield, Illinois. And if this thing, I'm about to break it. Come on. Turd. There we go. That's what I get for touching it.
All right, so I got the old school Universal MCA company coming up.
There. Look at my screen.
Are you in the corner? All right. I am there.
Okay. Hold on. Boop. All right. Getting the controller ready, aiming it correctly this time. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. I did this every time. October 31st, 1978.
So, we watched John's favorite sequel last week. Or no, 2 weeks ago, because I threw my back out and I couldn't make it down the stairs to watch a movie last week. But this is my favorite of the sequels. Even if Writer's Block is what made it happen.
Well, partial writer's block.
Partial. But still, it had an effect on creating this story. And I still think it's very interesting that John Carpenter had the idea at the time. He wanted to do a Halloween anthology. Universal told him, no, we need one more Myers film, then we'll give you the rights to that. Absolutely crazy.
Oh, dude, the batteries.
The sit-up.
The batteries blew up in my headset. That sucks.
There's also something kind of nice about these older films with the kind of like going back and just connecting it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like showing just a little bit of the end of the previous one.
Oh, dude, these movies flow so well.
Yeah.
And oh, sorry, 1 second. Gosh, dang it. Stupid batteries.
John's missing one of the best scenes of the movie.
Oh, no, you're killing me here. Why aren't you? Well, nice.
I
This
will
right here is just a
say
repeat. It's about to bleed in though.
the Stan Winston H2O mask really at the side angle really resembles this scene's mask, like when he's in the hallway grabbing her. And I kind of wish for Halloween H2O they would have just stuck to the Halloween 6 with the H2O style hair, but
Dude, I just love when he gets shot and he's just like he goes and looks at him in the room and he's just standing there and like he's almost all in shadow. The outline of the hair is so freaky. He's just like, "What? You shot me? You got something else?" Like I shot him
yeah.
6 times, but now I shot him 7. Well, that sucks, man. This isn't gonna work. That's weak sauce.
So real quick, I sent John and I were texting earlier today about our excitement for Halloween 2. I love how there's an imprint, almost like he burned there.
Right.
Super
It's huge.
cheesy.
Super dark. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the problem with doing a movie. Sometimes you have to overdo it to make sure people get it.
But John and I I sent a text to him where I was talking about how some of the reasons why I love Halloween 2 so much and how it's, it kind of set the tone for the franchise that we got. Like, arguably, Halloween 1 is the baseline, but Halloween 2 is what made Myers like 10 times scarier. It kind of brought this Friday the 13th-esque formula. And then it also, Michael Myers is, his kill count goes way up, but at the same time, it's mild enough to be and accessible to large audiences at the time. I don't know the right way to say that. It's not like Maniac was, where that's not going to reach a broad audience.
Well, I mean, the body count went up, but I mean, really, this movie didn't get that crazy. I mean, it just Michael just stopped stalking as much as he did, and he just plowed through people because he was after the one that got away, who ended up being his sister. This better work. I'm gonna throw
The
something.
Terminator. And also, my favorite rendition of the Halloween theme song is the Halloween 2 version.
Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, the dun, 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 that synth, man, is so scary. Like it's
It's on
like
fire,
it
man.
yeah. It tells you that the stakes are raised. Like we're no longer
Yeah,
messing around.
it's really well done. I swear if the Halloween Kills pumpkin looks like that, I'm going to be so mad. Speaking of, did you get our tickets?
No, I'm sorry. I will. I know.
I don't think he's looking at the screen to see that. He'll see
I
it
was
later.
what? I can't get it to work. I don't understand. Sucks, man. 1 second. Be right back.
He's leaving me alone again. Every time.
1 second.
Well, that's not. I don't know what all's happened. Well, it's missing this great theme song, guys. Get Halloween 2 in the shot there. Probably the coolest yet cheesiest opening to a Halloween film is that pumpkin spreading to show a skull. I love it. It's perfect. I think he's coming back.
Sorry, man. Be back in just a sec.
Hello? Hello?
Well, might not work at all.
Technical difficulties. Directed by Rick Rosenthal.
Sorry, man. I'm normally better prepared.
No, he's not. And neither am I. John's about to miss the long shot. And here we go to a scene that inspired one of the long shots in Halloween 2018.
I love this shot of Michael walking down the alleyways and stuff like that, listening to Loomis. Loomis is freaking out. Here in just a sec. Love it. I'll eat you, dog.
This is probably one of the best shots in the Halloween series. 6 times! I really wonder how they're gonna retcon this in Halloween Kills. I think we're alone again, people. Very sad. John keeps leaving us. Mr. and Mrs. Elrod. Also, I absolutely never do mayo or mustard, especially on a sandwich. Ketchup guy. And day one. They're coming to get you, Barbara. This shot that's about to happen with the Elrods and Michael in the background taking that knife. So awesome.
All right, I give up.
And you missed the best shot. Oh,
Michael Myers skipped on the sandwich.
Man. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Dude, he's so creepy there when he was standing behind her.
And I feel like
ketchup on a sandwich.
That's blood. I do think this is very interesting. A distinction between Halloween 2018 and Halloween 2. Like, he had no intent to kill them. He just needed a weapon because he was going after Laurie and going after anybody who got in his way for her. They didn't get in his way. Whereas Halloween 2018, it didn't matter. He just killed everybody.
Well, yes and no. He was probably going to kill them, but he actually heard this gal and decided to get the sneak surprise on her. Like, had he killed them, they might have made a noise that would have alerted her. So he decided not to kill them to go after her.
But she's also young and fits the description that looks like his sister.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of his MO. Yep. It's satisfying that need.
So
it's
again, weird. A distinction between this and 2018. Like, right.
Well, and but after 40 years, it would make sense that, I mean, being cooped up for 40 years, you just don't care anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Your MO's changed. You're just there to just do damage. This, he's still obsessed with the sister thing and probably the high of that and reliving that, and he's still obsessed with family and stuff like that, especially in this movie.
Yeah.
The dude, like, God, the way he moves is so good in this movie.
Dick Warlock really did a great job because he didn't make him brooding, but he also didn't make him, like, too goofy. It was like a good balance of mechanical and practical.
Well, and you got to give him props too. It's like, well, you got to give him props too. It's like the original Jaws, right? You didn't really see the first shark until the end of the movie, And in the second movie, you see a lot more of the shark. In this movie, you see a lot more of Michael Myers, and a lot clearer, to where, he's more scrutinized because he's more clear. I don't know where he was hiding, but he sprang out of nowhere. He sprung to action there.
Yeah. I also have to say that the what's called the Warlock stretch, because this is the mask from the first film. It sat in a shoebox under Deborah Hill's bed, hence the smash on the forehead. And the yellowing is from the paint fading, and she was a heavy smoker. When Dick Warlock puts it on, he's got a wider head, whereas Nick Castle had a slimmer, more elongated head. And, the Nick Castle look is scary, but for some reason, the way it fits Dick Warlock's head, I think, is 10 times scarier.
I think so.
I don't know.
I think it, because if you look at, especially in high definition, and I just say that because it's the first time I saw it, but there's certain scenes like when Laurie messes with it and it shifts, it doesn't stick to his face very well. But in this, it seemed like Michael Myers had a mask on. In this, though, the mask seems like it is the face of Michael Myers. Like, it's so on him. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like it's a mask. It doesn't move like a mask. It feels like him. I think it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Wonder here. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit. You let me know if you can hear it. Well, that's too loud. Can you
I
hear that?
can't. I cannot, no.
Okay. Well, I think because I've got the mic and it's here, you can't. It's only picking up forward, so I'm hoping. Let me know. Try to. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll do.
Sorry, man. Normally I have my backup headset. I didn't realize that the batteries exploded and killed the headset, which is super depressing, but whatever.
It's all right. No, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah.
As a kid, this scene was the scariest to me.
Oh God. Yeah.
The kid with the ice and the blood and the. Oh,
well, that's the
'cause
scary
my
thing.
dad-
Like, think about how many kids you could really hurt with like poisoning the candy or whatever, because there's no way, unless there was like a specialty homemade treat wrapped up thing, you would never know. I mean, how many places did you hit as a kid? Like 50?
Yeah, and his is razor blade in the candy.
God. I can't even imagine, man. Especially as a kid, like, he's probably missing that front tooth, so it went straight into the gum line. Yeah.
Yeah. No, my dad was he liked telling scary stories that made me as a kid like freak out. So before I had seen this movie, he made up some story about this neighbor that got caught putting razor blades in candy. And
Oh,
so
geez.
that freaked me out in and of itself. And then once I saw this movie and saw that scene and the blood around it, I'm just like, ah! And still, that sticks with me. Also, is it just me, or is Bud kind of like the same dude from Friday Part 4 at the hospital morgue?
Very similar. Yeah, this came out in 81, that was 84, but yeah, very similar, but Bud's more of a ladies man, and Bud's like very confident where what's his name? I want to say Felix. It's not Felix. Did you say his name?
I don't
Castle.
remember.
No, not Castle. Axel.
Axel.
Axel. Yeah, Axel is kind of quirky and goofy, but yeah, I mean, very, very similar. I mean,
I would like to talk about the drunk doctor. All right, so the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 version of this is way more gruesome.
right.
The fingernail. Like,
Well, dude.
that's
Well, but
rough.
I mean, Laurie didn't go through. I mean, this version of Laurie didn't go through anything like Rob Zombie's Laurie. Rob Zombie's Laurie. I mean, it was like a cage match, like Thunderdome match at the end of Rob Zombies. I mean, this was like this is like flag football compared to that. I mean,
Oh, hey. Just saw your comment, man.
I didn't see it. I must have been deadly daddling with my stuff. I don't see it. Uh-oh.
Putting together my list on how I want my Blu-ray collection to be. Yeah, I mean, phew, I got a lot of work. I'm just doing alphabetical personally, but I've got a laundry list of movies that I want added to it that I can't afford. My biggest deal is if these prices start to hike, I told John I need to finish collecting. I need to finish my Arnold collection because I need all of his movies.
Here's what I don't understand, right? Like, what? So Loomis just shot him out the window. I guess, yeah, he hasn't found his daughter yet, but he knows that Michael's been crazy and tried to kill Lori, and Lori probably didn't tell him that she found the bodies, right? So I get that, but he's like, I'm just about there where I'm tired of taking orders. Like, it's weird how he still doesn't get it. Like, he's still like he's still back talking Loomis back, and Loomis just needs to backhand him.
But also, Loomis needs to stop playing with the gun in the cop car.
Right, right. This isn't a man. I love his voice, man. That angry
Yeah.
old man voice. I freaking love Loomis, man. And that
Spoiler
synth.
from 1981. Poor Ben Tramer.
Or Ben Tramer, rest in peace, bro. You got it hard.
Ben
Just trying to
Tramer?
get
Did I say Bill?
Huh?
Did I say Bill? I meant Ben.
Oh, I don't know if you did, but no, I knew what you're saying.
Huh.
Now, did the I don't did the cop I don't think the cop car hit him on purpose. I think a lot of people think that the cop meant to kill him. I think that the cop was just he had his lights on. I think he was hauling to one of the scenes probably, and the dude just stepped in the middle of the road. I don't think the cop meant to
Yeah.
kill him.
And he just said he stepped out of nowhere.
Oh, he did. Okay, yeah, because I can't remember. But I know people have said that like people like he killed him on purpose. I didn't think he did.
Yeah.
Donald Pleasance. I mean, I know he was in his 50s or whatever, but God, he aged hard. God, that acting was bad. His hand, he was like, "Mom was at
Don't hit me, bro. They just leave him there.
cooking." I mean, this kid took it like a champ, though. He's just talking now. He's fine. I'm going home.
Yeah. Man, and this is a time back when like medicine, the needle they left in you was a metal needle. Like I couldn't. Oh man, the things I went through with my autoimmune disease, I couldn't have been alive at that time for that because I wouldn't have survived.
Oh my
There's
God,
no
man.
way.
My dad told me that in Vietnam he had to take pliers and literally rip a tooth out because it like
Nope.
he was deep in there, and that was it, and he had no choice, and it was killing him. I was like, "Ugh." My dad's teeth were jacked up.
I would not. And I realize I have a thing for vampires because there's a lot of movies in here. So you have a lot. Sadly, I don't have a lot of vampire movies. There's a few I really need. I feel like I might be getting these comments late. I'm sorry if I am.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting them. I don't know if I need to
Do you have
bounce
your
out of
comments
here.
turned on?
I never turn them off, but I'm trying to go. I don't.
Here, I'm gonna try and type and see if you can see it.
What are you doing? Oh yeah. I saw yours earlier, but for some reason I can't see them now. I'm not sure.
Can you see that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. I will bet either your comments are turned off or you have crappy service. For me, I have crappy service.
No, I've got full bars. I'm not sure. Yeah, it sucks, man.
He says
Oh, I kicked him out. Shut up. I don't even want to talk to you anymore, Caleb. Goodbye. My bad, Caleb. I did not mean to do that. I did not. I did not mean to do that. My bad. So we got the news reporters here. We got Brackett rolling up to see Annie. Poor Annie. Choked out, throat slashed. Brackett's going home for the rest of the night. I think she was like, I want to say the gal who played Annie. She was the girl on the phone earlier warning the other girl, but I want to say this girl was like late 20s, and she's got to be early 30s probably. Caleb, I don't know what's going on here. We might have to pause and come back in. But Caleb, if you can hear me, pause the video. In 3, 2, 1, pause. There you go,
Bro.
man. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Now I can see the comments again, so that's something.
Well, that's good. Real quick, I am here. Because I paused it because I didn't know if we like went out entirely or what. So are you just like a scene after me?
I am yeah, like keep going just a little bit. He's telling him to go home to his family.
Alright. Ah, crap. Ah! There we go.
I can see your comment from earlier, Caleb, but I can't see the rest, and I hate to. I don't know. It's
You
frustrating.
said I have to go and tell my wife before somebody else does.
Oh, you're still playing? Oh crap! Hang on.
Go on home, Lee. Go on
Yep.
home. I'll take care of everything.
Yep. He just said it almost
Okay.
word for word. Damn
Cool.
you! You let him out.
I do wonder because they've got to do more with the bracket. Ugh. I feel like Brackett's got to be a full returning character with kills, or at least the lineage. I really wonder what that's going to look like with Halloween Kills or Ends.
Well, it's weird to me. Like I just don't. I know you got a lot of cameos in the next movie. The next movie takes place the same night. I don't understand how you throw that many characters that are invested and ready to go in the same night. I don't want to know. I haven't watched any of the trailers. I just don't know how you shove all that in there in the same night where Michael Myers escaped, he's doing all these killings, and whoa, everybody's into it. Like it's going to be an interesting thing.
Man, Halloween 2018 has got to be really early at night. It's got to be like 9:45, 10 o'clock.
Well, yeah, the dance got out. I would assume, or she left the dance. I've got to imagine that was probably at, 9, and then everything else probably another hour, so 10, 10:30, I would assume. And Jabari, if you're still here, man, I'm really sorry I can't see your comments, man. It's killing me. It's killing me. I kind of want to end it and re-come back in. It's really irritating me.
I don't think he's still here.
Sorry,
Maybe.
man. Yeah, it's still showing him in here on my end. I can't see. I don't know why. It's weird. I've never had a problem with that. So dumb.
Can't you ask Eddie Lee?
5 minutes here. Guilt trip. Just a little one.
That's how that works. Man, I'm really sad this is empty.
Yeah, I got the big guy. Yeah, I like that Mustang though. The old '60s Mustang there.
I think it's a Skylark in the background, the white.
Yeah, it's a good looking car too.
Oh, old Datsun pickup on the left there.
Also cool. I love this dude with his boombox, man. Just chilling, just walking around, listening to the
But
radio.
instead of listening to music, he's listening to the news.
Can you hear that? Because it was loud.
I don't know. I heard it in my headphone.
Okay.
Ooh, man.
I just hope you can't hear it on your end, because I just don't want to get in trouble.
No, I can't hear it.
Okay.
I hope that was a good view of my ear hole.
It was.
See, again, these shots of like watching Michael from the back, I think really help establish like who he is as a character. So it kind of separates him from Jason and Freddy and Leatherface. Like it was the first time that we really saw that. I really
See,
like that.
I have some mixed feelings because I like it. I think like the flow of Michael Myers, you can see how he, like, once again, he was the original intent of the character. He was a smaller dude, very average built. He would blend into a crowd. He wouldn't be imposing. He just fades away, right? So I think some of it's good. I think it lingered on him a little too much there. I think this movie shows him a little too much, but like I said, it's the Jaws thing. Like, now you've exposed the shark, people want to see it. But God, Dick Warlock, man, he's fantastic. That shot's so creepy. Like, I love the
Right
mask and how
when
nasty it is. And at the end, when he steps out and the red gets on the mask, man, as a kid, that freaked me out. Like,
Yeah,
I was never really scared of the original Halloween, but when I was a kid and I saw Halloween 2 was scary.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, good old Bud just sitting there smoking weed.
Yep, using hemostats as his roach clips.
It works.
It did work. In the hospital cafeteria, nonetheless.
Now,
Also,
I will say that a lot of people complain about how empty this hospital is, and to an extent, I agree. But this right here, I'm not really sure exactly. This is also really
I
cool.
love this shot.
The mask is really
So,
cool right here.
how you kind of see his face kind of in the darkness, just kind of walking past. That's great.
It's so good.
Great.
But no, unfortunately, being in a hospital a lot at night and just waiting around and sleeping in a hospital, and I've showered anyway. Hospitals are really, there's nothing
Kind
going
of.
on at night. There's nothing. Like, unless there's an emergency or something's happening, like, it's super, super quiet. So there could be tons of people in the rooms, but nobody's making any noise, so nothing happens.
Also, the way Haddonfield is portrayed as a smaller town, it kind of makes sense that they're not that busy. Like
Right.
maybe there's not that many patients there. And I've spent a fair share of my teenage years in the hospital. So I know how calm and quiet nights can be between Shawnee Mission, KU, Providence. It's not. I mean, Fridays, Saturdays, and big holidays were always super busy there. But like just an average Tuesday night, it looks like this.
Mhm.
Like maybe not at the vending machine, there might be two or three people, but other than that, it's pretty quiet.
Hey, so I'm watching this for the first time on Blu-ray. Is your copy really grainy? Mine's really grainy.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of grain in this.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it's not a transfer thing. It's just the movie thing.
Yeah,
I,
it's
I don't mind some grain, but at the same time, it depends on the movie. Like, obviously, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I want to see grain, but most of the time, I just don't anymore. I love this line right here, this sleazeball, and then you got him, whatever, Jimmy or whatever, and yeah, he's been stalking on Lori this entire time, and now all of a sudden he's a good dude.
yeah,
But he kind of, in this movie's trying to portray him as a hopeless romantic, but it comes off as creepy because of the time it was shot. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, back in the day, going in and being sweet to a gal that's unconscious, just looking after her and just kind of, yearning that she's okay. And you know what I mean? It's a difference in the times, I think. Like, it was probably never okay, truly, but he's, I don't think he is intentionally trying to be creepy. I think
yeah,
he's supposed to be a hopeless romantic.
yeah.
But it's nice today. We know better, right? Lines are clearer in some areas than others. So it's good, right? I mean, we hope
Yeah.
we should learn, I would think.
I would say the one thing that kind of gets me is there is enough noise made that there's got to be at least one or two other patients, that would
Yeah.
be like, what the
Well,
is happening?
but once again though, I mean, if this is 11:30 at night, like there's no visitors usually allowed. Like people are usually asleep or just watching TV. Like most of the time, like there's just not a whole lot happening.
Yeah.
And I love the POV shots and the way it still transitions and shows him is really smooth. Um, and just Dick Warlock, man, like Nick Castle was the shape, but Dick Warlock hammered it home.
Oh yeah.
He took what Nick Castle did and expanded on it and like I said, the Jaws thing, you see more of the shark. So he really
Yeah.
saw it to the end. I think like right there, that shot of him just moving there in the backgrounds. God dang, there's
Great.
some good shots. This movie is slow, but it's so good too. But I mean, like right here, like he is comforting her. She just went through a traumatic thing. He's not trying to like weasel his way in there because she's hurt. He's trying to comfort her. It's coming from a good place, I think. So even though yes, he is creepy, I don't know.
Yeah.
Another thing people talk about is like her wig. I don't think her wig is that bad.
It's not that bad in like these scenes, but once she's like on the run, once I learned that it was a wig, I can look at it and be like, "Oh, bro, that's bad."
Well, I mean, what else were they gonna do? They could have wrapped
Well,
her
yeah, I
head.
mean, it's not as bad as Henry Cavill's mustache in the opening of Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Yeah.
Man, whoever did that CGI probably will never work again.
Well, as they
Um,
shouldn't.
the
Well,
whole world has rallied against them.
whoever approved that should never work again. Yeah, keep an eye on Jabari's comments for me, bud. Will you, if he pops in here, and if you just be like, if you'd read them full sentences for me. I apologize for asking. I don't know what's going on tonight. Just everything's being a turd.
I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, well, yeah, just if anybody comments, just kind of keep an eye on that. Normally I do, but I think I can't see it.
Last thing I got is request to join JK Rants and Reviews broadcast. Send join request. I'm already here.
Well, I think that's if you wanted to send it to somebody else. Do you like the scalpel thing, or does it annoy you?
What do you mean?
Some people get annoyed that I mean, like his go-to weapon is a butcher's knife. Um, but he swaps it out for a scalpel because he leaves the knife in Sam Hain at the school. And it's something to where I mean, he didn't need to really leave the knife. I don't know. I just know that some people just aren't intimidated by the scalpel. I know that some people just don't like it. Doesn't fit him. It doesn't, I mean, in what movie does Jason not have a machete prevalent? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jason Takes Manhattan.
well, but really though, I mean, this is the second movie, and Michael Myers isn't using his signature weapon. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I think it kind of gives more of a flavor to this movie, more of a uniqueness to this movie because he
Yeah.
never uses another scalpel again. I mean, I like that he uses the surgical tools and the needle in the eyeball later, or the temple, excuse me. Well, and the
Yeah.
eyeball.
No. It doesn't bug me. I'm good with it.
I think it's just creepy. It's part of that like I don't know. I don't know. Scalpels are scary. Like that's freaky. Especially because it's a hooked scalpel, right? It's not like a normal one. That little extra hook thing is it's almost like Freddy's finger knives almost. Like it's kind of, you know, it's freaky.
Got a little angle.
Yeah. This right here, they could speed this up a bit. Like that's the only problem with this movie. Like there's like the middle part really drags, and at the last like 10 minutes of the movie, Michael Myers is like ungodly slow when he goes down the steps. He moves great. He just needs to speed up the steps just a little bit. Like if you see Michael at the end of the first movie, he's hauling down those steps. Like he's letting gravity do the work. In this one, he's just like doom 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 doom, like he's so slow.
So I think that it does a good job, especially for the time, of building that tension. Um, so again, where I'm kind of like, it wouldn't work for modern, like right now in this moment. Um, but for the time, and where I was as a kid, that when I saw it, that anticipation just built the fear more, so it worked. It was effective, and I think that's why I like kind of that slow build.
Well, another thing I'll say, and now this has been my thought since I was a kid. So this is before Halloween Kills, but my thought was like the more Michael Myers gets hurt and the more he kills, the more he becomes supernatural and inhuman, and not necessarily a zombie, but evil. Like, and in this movie, it's like the unconscious mind. Like, what if he was superhuman? You know what I mean? What if he was
Yeah.
beyond normal uh, physical trait? I don't know. I just thought even as a kid, the more he gets hurt, the more he kills, the more he becomes less human.
Man, you sure you didn't see the Halloween Kills trailer?
No, I have heard the the more he kills, the more he transcends. I know that line, and that's a great line. But I've always thought that as a kid. Like the more he got hurt, the more he killed, the more he became more of a zombie, more of a that's why at the end of the movie where he's at like he's been shot multiple times again and hurt. That's why he's moving slower. He becomes robotic almost.
So a couple things with the Rob Zombie H2. I think that the casting choice they made for his similar character was really well done. Also, um, this scene where he's in that like tool shed or whatever area that is, the warehouse or whatever. It's really it makes me think of the kitchen in H2O, like a lot. I don't know why.
Huh.
But this is 10 times more like panic inducing than the kitchen in H2O.
Yeah, I think had you just gotten rid of the like the trash scene and sped this up a little bit.
I can tell you right now, he does not get paid enough for what's going to happen to him.
Right. I wasn't scared. Didn't scare me a bit. I'm not. I don't need to go wipe. I'm good. Well, I love this.
Is this like Friday After Next where he just has like 50 cents to call cops?
Right.
Because he's doing a lot of investigating for what I imagine is the equivalent of like $3 an hour.
Right. Yeah, I would think like, nope, it's dark. I'm good.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's
Yeah,
like
how's
talking.
that? I'm
He's
gonna
like
go
bouncing.
home.
He's like, no, I got this. Me and my flashlight, we can handle it. We got this.
Man.
Hello. Thunk. God, much better. I will say that, this is the same year that Friday the 13th Part 2 came out, and
Was it
the hammer kill in this one is better than Friday the 13th
Yeah.
because that two hands thunk right in the head, and the way Michael turns, so good.
Yeah.
So I almost wonder if what's his name? God dang it, from Terminator 2, T-1000.
Robert, Robert Patrick.
Yeah, I wonder if he got a little bit of Michael Myers feel, um, and to some extent, maybe so did Arnold. I don't know, but
I don't know, but man, Robert Patrick's run in T2 is terrifying. Like
Hmm.
I've never seen a run be scary, but that was scary because his face was like perfectly emotionless while he was doing it.
Yeah. I will say I like Brackett better, just as I don't know. I like the actor better, but this guy does a really good job, and he does have good chemistry, and it also gives Donald Pleasance here in a little bit the ability to repeat a similar line. You know, he's my patient for 15 years, yada yada. Like, so I think it was a smart move to replace Brackett, and it makes sense. But what I would have done, man, is I would have had like Brackett like go home for a little bit, and then like he consoles his wife, he puts his wife to bed, and then he turns on the radio and he's drinking some scotch, and he hears that Michael might be at the hospital or something like that. um or no, he hears that Loomis hijacked the cop car, right, or something like that, and he shows up, and like he's another body count for Michael at the end, you know. Just spice up that ending, not like it needed it a lot, but give it a little bit more vengeance feel, maybe
And
utilize
you
the
know,
character.
that is the exact thing that Victor Crowley did at the end with Danielle Harris's character. Was she heard that crap on the news, like right, it was like the
I haven't
early
seen the end of
credit.
it. Haven't seen the end of it. Haven't seen the end of it.
How have you not, did you just get mad and turn it off or what?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got tired of it. Hang on, the speech is gonna be good. I got irritated with it, and
Disappointed in you.
I don't have a cigarette here. Take the lighter anyway.
No, he gave him a cigarette.
Oh, he did. I missed it. Okay.
Yeah. One of the few things I liked in the Friday the 13th remake is he used a bow and arrow, which I believe he had used being in his camp before death. Yeah, no, I agree. The bow and arrow scene was really good with the Friday the 13th reboot.
Like, yeah, man. That's
And
well in like the axe toss. Like he is like he's using what
that,
he's surrounded. I love the mountain man aspect of Jason in that one. It went back to the roots.
I hated it when I first saw it, and then it just grew on me in a way that totally made sense. And he says he hasn't seen Victor Crowley either. Um, I loved it. I thought it was a perfect like version of what Scream 4 tried to do, where they wanted the character to come back, but they didn't want to mess up or do a reboot.
Well,
Um,
I will
and
say
I
if you're
think
gonna watch the Hatchet
knowing that,
franchise, go into it with a fun attitude. Go into it with like you know,
Mhm.
you're gonna go into it with just looking to have some fun, because if you go into it in a
it's
mood of
all
like serious, you won't like it.
it's all absolutely goofy, bonkers, awesome, gory, stupid fun, and
All
I
into one.
that's why I love Victor Crowley too. And I can see why you're annoyed, but it doesn't bug me because it's like it's Adam Green's franchise, and technically, if he wanted to do another movie, who better to do it than the person who created it?
Well,
At
here's
least it's not going from hand to hand to hand to hand like every other franchise.
what irritates me is that he did the exact same thing that Nightmare on Elm Street did. Three good movies, ended on a good note, ended on a high note, and then screwed it all up and threw in a fourth one that just wasn't needed. That didn't. Now I haven't finished it because, like I said, I got irritated because the third one ends so well. One, two, and three are so good, and then they have the same feels, they have similar characters, yada
That
yada.
I heard on your end.
Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. My bad. Can you hear it again?
No.
Okay. Yeah, what are you gonna do with those little baby scissors? But yeah, I mean, go definitely watch the franchise. I mean, I will. I bought Victor Crowley. I have Hatchet one, and I've got Victor Crowley, so I will finish it. But Daniel Harris does have a
Unfortunately,
very nice. scene in the shower in, what is that, second one or third one? Second one.
Oh, I
Third
don't
one.
remember. I am sad. I actually own all of the Hatchet series. The only one I got on DVD is Hatchet 3, and I'm really annoyed about it because for some reason the DVD was still $21.99 and the Blu-ray was $26.99 when I was buying them. And I had a budget at the time, like I usually do, and God, that irritates me to no end. But yeah,
Yeah.
snag it,
Yeah,
snag it.
it's 4.99 I think on Amazon right now. But no, real quick.
And it's the 2-pack too, right? The
Right,
combo Blu-ray DVD. Yeah,
right,
I mean,
right. And digital. Yeah. But no, going back to Loomis a minute ago, and he's talking about the no reason, 15 years. He was like, did you know? He's like, yeah, I knew. Like right there, like his delivery is similar to Amy Matichak's Karen in 2018, was very detached. It's like, look, it's one of those things where like Loomis spends most of the time screaming to everybody about how evil he is, but he still feels the guilt of his failure. Like people wouldn't listen to him, he couldn't get through to Michael, and now people are dying. And so I love the subtle frustrations of Loomis in this movie. Like he's like, you let him out. He's like, I didn't. I tried to tell him. Like, you know what I mean? It's like he kind of like retreats into himself. I just love Donald Pleasance in this role. Like in 1 and 2, like the back to back so good. And then they're doing the dream sequence here where she's figuring out that she's remembering Michael Myers sitting in the room looking at the wall.
I agree. Donald Pleasance's delivery here is absolutely phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
But for some reason, I think we touched on this when we did 2018. For me, what sticks out the most is Halloween 5. Like how
Oh,
he's lost all that hope, and he's like, you know what? Only way to get you is I'm gonna bait you with this kid.
right.
And as
Yeah, he just
horrible as that is, it fits the character really well.
right. He's just screaming it. Yeah. What's crazy is I tried to look up how much Donald Pleasance got paid for this movie. I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find out how much John Carpenter made. But what's funny is that Jamie Lee Curtis really doesn't have a whole lot. She's laying down for most of this movie. Like, so she's got like a total of like however much 20 minutes screen time, but she got paid $8,000 for the first movie, and in this movie, man, $100,000 for this movie.
Yeah.
$100,000 to lay there and then move around a little bit. Like I mean, seriously, she slept through this performance. She does a good job, but she's laying there for $100,000 is wild to me. Just wild. And the fact that it kind of sucks that it had a $2.5 million budget compared to $300,000 for the original. The original made 70 million, and this one only made 25. So like it's crazy. I mean, it's still guaranteed money, but it blows me away how much Jamie Lee Curtis made for this one, and then she made 5 million for H2O.
Again, it's got a lot to do with, I think, the family name and with the fact that she was involved in an actual horror franchise at this point. And yes, I said it that way on purpose to see if it would bug you.
You bug me, dude. I cannot imagine being an actor or an actress having to get naked in front of everybody. And like these two right here, like they didn't want to be naked. Neither one of them wanted to be naked. They're in the nasty. That thing is nasty, and it's also really cold. So like, especially as a dude and a lady, like I mean, that would just suck. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
I thought it was hilarious. Have you ever watched the Terminator 2 behind the scenes
I don't think I have.
where you get to see Arnold like walking through the bar scene and he's actually in like the
Boxer
most
or yeah,
comically colorful boxers, and he
right.
said he did it on purpose to try and see if people would like stay on script.
That's
I think
awesome.
that's absolutely great.
That's awesome.
Bye, bud.
Bye, buddy. What sucks is she's like, hey, go turn it down. And then she just like cuts him off. She's like, hey, go, go turn that down a bit. We'll get things going. And then like, so yeah, that'd be like me doing the dishes and then getting turned down or something. That's weak. I mean, not that turning a dial is the same thing as washing dishes. I hate dishes, but still. Like, God, I mean, seriously though, let's be fair. Let's put everything on the table. I don't honestly think Nick Castle could have done a better job than Dick Warlock. I'm going to say that. Like, the only things I don't like about Dick Warlock is that you see him too much, not his fault. And that the end scene where he's moving super slow, not his fault. The director could have told him, like, go faster. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not his fault. I mean, I would blame that on Rick Rosenthal. Like, I mean, I don't know. God, that's got to be gross. You know he hasn't showered in like 3 weeks.
I think that it works for what Michael became too. Like, you can see a lot of this version of Michael in Halloween 4. I do think that Dick Warlock has to be in my top 3 or 4 portrayals of Myers. I haven't actually sat down and like tried to make a list. Like, I will say like Kane Hodder's my favorite portrayal of Jason, and I can see a lot of people going other directions. But I don't know.
Dude, did you see him kind of like? And I once again, I'm not trying to say this to be a jerk, but I haven't watched this in high definition ever before, and I'm just trying to look at details. I never noticed him kind of caress her arm, like while he was finishing drowning her. He kind of like caressed her arm like he was enjoying it, like just a subtle like just I don't know. I liked it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, the left hand kind of caressed her shoulder. I love how perfectly straight that thing is stabbed in there. I love that it's not at an angle at all. I love that. That knife is creepy. God, I love that. Sam Hain. I love how he's just like he's so taken back by all this, and he's just he's stunned, but at the same it's like when he shot him at the end of the first movie.
And he was shocked but not shocked.
Exactly. That's how he plays a lot of this, and it's so perfect. He's like, oh my God, like he everything makes sense to him. He's taking it all in. He's like, God, this is ridiculous, and it fits all the unanswered questions I have. Like this dude is the unconscious mind of evil. Like, it's so good. Yeah. Donald Pleasence. Once again, the music's huge in these two movies. I honestly think you could take Jamie Lee Curtis out of these two movies, and the movies wouldn't change a lot. No offense, Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm not trying to be rude, but Donald Pleasence and the music, and I mean the cinematography, obviously, and the lighting by I mean Dean Cundey. I mean he's huge also, but Donald Pleasence and the music, I think, are the two biggest sells of these two movies.
Yeah. I think that what is missing from all films, H2O and on, is a character that can carry the film as well as Donald Pleasence could.
Right.
And that is a struggle that anything's going to find at this point. I recently reread an article that was like the old news of Blumhouse stating that they do have interest in continuing after Halloween ends, with Michael Myers and the franchise, and the problems that presents. Like, they have something with 2018, they have something with Kills, which means they have to have something with Ends, but after that that fire's gonna burn out. Like,
right.
You can't top those three, I don't think, with what we've already seen. I don't think you're going to be able to top those three. You're not going to spark an interest in continuing to break up timelines. I was talking to somebody today, and this isn't to be mean or rude or anything, but casual fans don't understand the timeline issues, like,
Right.
or the fact that they're not connected. And it's the same thing I've said with Batman. How many times are we going to be like, crap, who's Batman now? Why is
Right.
this person Batman? Why am I seeing the Joker again? Is this the same thing? Is this all connected? And it's not.
Well, and like, well, the thing is too is like to an extent, it cheapens the franchise the more you reboot it and jack with it. Like the only reason this one's flying is because A, it's got Jamie Lee Curtis, it's got a ton of money behind it, and it was well directed and shot. That's why
Yeah.
the new this new franchises work. But you can't just keep beating the same horse to death. Like people are just gonna go, no, I got it. I've got H2O. I've got Halloween 4. I've got Halloween H18. I've got Halloween 2 if I want to pick up from the original. Like there's just no reason to keep beating it to death. But I will say, man, like, listen to this. Listen to this idea. And it's not like this is just like nobody's ever suggested this in the past. But Dr. Loomis, I'm not he's not he doesn't think that he's like the smartest person on the planet, but he thinks he's smarter than everybody in the room for the most part. Like the way he talks, like to his superior, he's like, I told everybody, like he was doing very well last night, like with that kind of stuff. He loves to hear himself talk, especially about Michael Myers. Can you imagine, like, if he recorded himself in the sessions with Michael Myers, and you did a series on that to where old Dr. Loomis, like, say Laurie was just sitting there going through his stuff and reliving it, and then you casted a younger Loomis and a younger Michael, and you did some of that. Like, how awesome would that franchise be? To if
Yeah.
you could get a guy to carry the weight of Donald Pleasant's voice.
Yeah. God, the way his mask just lightly illuminates behind her.
Oh, dude, the like the blue red is amazing. Look at that. The cinematography is great. I mean, Dean Cundy just, I mean, field goal from the 55-yard line, like straight down the middle. He's just like Halloween 1 and 2 are just so good back to back. Like I love the way the mask fits on his face. It's a little messed up, but in this movie, Michael Myers is a little messed up. He's been stabbed twice or three times, whatever it is. He's been shot 6, 7 times, whatever that you want to count, depending on movie. Like his mask would be messed up a little bit. Like Jamie Lee Curtis ripped it off his face. It makes sense. I love it. Love it.
You
Love
said
this
they
movie.
could remake Halloween Resurrection. Actually, the movie that John and I talked about wanting the most was Halloween Returns, the sequel to Halloween Resurrection. Following up where he does go back to the asylum and he escapes and he's killing people without his suit, and it brutal script, and I would love to see that done, but I think the ship has sailed on that. um I honestly, outside of another reboot, and even with the reboot, they're not going to make fans happy continuing. um
What if you picked up from 2 and he was bandaged because I love the bandage looking 4. I think it's so awesome. I think they should have kept that the entire movie. Um, what if they would have keep? What if you picked up from 2? Michael Myers is in a coma. And once again, now let's say Loomis lived, and then you get the tapes of Loomis going over his original stuff, and then you talk about him up to like Michael Myers' execution, and then Michael Myers breaks free, and you got him and Loomis cat and mouse inside the prison. I think if you mash that together, could be gold, man.
it could be, but again, with just coming out of Halloween Ends, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's the time. I think it needs to rest and then for a while, and then maybe we can come back to another idea. Pitch. We're in an age where Freddy versus Jason, Godzilla, King Kong, AVP, interest, and Twitter people watching a cast enter Myers' old home. Chicken market. I mean, it could work, but also I don't really want Busta Rhymes in another Halloween film. Then
I mean,
again, I have no shame. I love that movie. It's trash, but I love it. It's the first time I got to see a Halloween film in theaters, so I nostalgia all the way.
see the,
And
the
I
another
actually really do like The Mask, and I do think Brad Laree did okay. I just think that
the mask
they
is leaps and bounds better than a lot of them. But I will say
yeah.
that this movie, I can't remember who said it, and and I always felt it, but I never could really put it into words. But they said that the a problem with this movie is that like the middle drags, and the other problem is that you have no idea of space in this movie. Like I have no idea like how threatening Michael Myers is right now because I don't know where Laurie is in conjunction with Michael Myers. I think what they should have done was do more of the camera surveillance thing where we as the audience just watch him and then you would see like Laurie would round like this corner as Michael's coming around this corner, and so that would give you like some suspense like holy crap, he is inches from her. I mean
Personally, to me, I
right here
think
she
it
made that thing, maybe she heard him but I don't know.
to me that kind of works just because in horror movies they have this issue where they show you how close and it's almost like on the money right around the corner, like
Yeah.
at all times. And that kind of threat goes away, but you don't know where he is during these stalking scenes. You that kind of builds a tension, and you're not familiar with the layout of this hospital. They don't give you that much to go on. So to me, it's a good tension building tool that I think gets missed a lot in slasher films because we like to show that right around the corner vibe or that walking right past and then come back because I actually saw you thing or whatever. But
Yeah, no, yeah, I guess I could see that too, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I, I just cannot believe she got $100,000 for this. Like, she does nothing in this movie. Like, why do I work so hard when this girl, like, I mean, by this time she'd already done, no, she didn't do The Fog until 82, I believe. But she'd already
bro,
done, obviously, Halloween and some other stuff.
anybody who's making a film watching this, I will gladly take 100K to sleep.
Yeah, to lay
That's
there.
my
Hey,
natural state. I've got that down. I am always sleepy.
right.
I
Our kids
I have
kill
been
us.
in an
Yeah,
eternal state of sleepiness since I was like 13. It hasn't gone away. I got this. I'm your guy.
right. And I feel bad because I'm really not trying. Like I've said some crap that sounds bad against Jamie Lee Curtis, but I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm just saying that they didn't give her character a lot of character because she gets thrusted into Michael Myers in the last 10 minutes of the first movie, and
I
then
think it also portrays like she's out of her mind on I don't know if it whatever the equivalent of fentanyl
sedation.
back then was. Yeah, so she knows there's danger, but she's not sure how to process it because she's still doped up. And dude, I don't know if you've ever been in the situation where um, I've been hospitalized enough times because of my autoimmune disease that like they start to give you those painkillers and you know you're not okay. And there's this sense of get up and run panic, but you physically cannot do it. And
Oh yeah.
that mental terror just takes at you.
Oh man, I got a story for you then.
I
Yeah.
think they did a good job with like when she sits down in that room and she knows she needs to go or do something, but she's so drugged that she just kind of falls down.
Right. Yeah. I love this shot too, as Michael in the background. But yeah, no, I got a scary story about that, man. When you talk about drugs and stuff like that, I went to have my schnoz fixed, and they put me out. And when I woke up, I didn't have a clue where I was, who I was, what was happening. And then as I started to realize, like, I'm not fully dreaming anymore. And I remember, like, obviously I'm me now. But the nurse was like, she goes, "Hey, John," like she knew me for my entire life, right? She goes, "Hey, John, put your pants on. John, come on, man, you need to wake up and put your pants on. You need to get going." And I was like, at this point, I've been married, 6, 7 years or whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, like like, oh, what happened? I don't remember anything from the past forever. And then like after when I'm starting to like full on panic, she was like, "Do you need something in your stomach? Do you want some of these Teddy Grahams?" And I started laughing out loud because I was like, okay, everything is okay. Either I'm dreaming or everything is okay because I just got offered Teddy Grahams. And I ate like 3 of those bags of Teddy Grahams. They probably cost like $30 a piece. But I thought like, I'm getting a divorce. How horrible a human being am I? Crazy, man. Like, why would you say, like, why would that be the first thing you tell me? Like, hey, put your pants on. Like, What is it, just out for the world? Like, cover it up yourself. Like,
Real quick, his reaction to turn around and run looks like the fakest I'm out run in the whole world. No offense to the guy. Like, I think he does a pretty good job for the rest of the film, but this, like, huh?
dude, I love that Michael Myers drained her. Like, and just it's on the floor, and like it just it's so artistic and creepy. I just like like I don't know, like is he stunned? Yeah, he just like, oh, what a way. I do kind of like, sometimes I like the random mishaps like that. Like, I can see somebody slipping on that. You know, you panic. But yeah, he could have like gasped a little bit more and sold it a little bit more. But I mean,
He was just like, I'm gonna go now.
yeah,
What?
yeah,
And see, again, Michael being smart. This is,
right. Well, and
I feel like, I feel like the car scene is like a staple in horror movies, but it really shows the awareness of the slasher villain like Jason and Michael when they do stuff like this.
I don't know if you've ever heard of 3C Films. His name is Chris. He's good. He covers a lot of Chucky stuff, but he was talking about how in this movie he doesn't seem to be as much of a mindless killer, just out to kill teenage girls and stuff like that. He's more proactive and intelligent. And I was like, well, if you remember in the first movie, he traps Laurie in there with the rake. So I mean, he did it in the first movie. He just didn't really need to because he was going door to door. Like, he didn't really need to trap people in one area. Um,
Yeah.
like this.
But like the slashing all the tires in the parking lot and probably cutting all the battery lines and
Right.
yeah,
Well,
it's
right.
smart. It's yeah.
And this one, he's more goal orientated. Like, yeah, which is fine. I just I mean, he's still fitting the same MO of the original movie.
When you said goal oriented, I just imagine like him sitting down with some supervisor, like, so what are
Right.
your goals this quarter? And he's like, well,
Right.
I want to be smart when I kill.
Right. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Well, Halloween 3. Oh, no, 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 not for you,
I
sir.
don't care, man. I'm Halloween 3 is awesome, and I kind of, if I had to buy another one of the Shout Factories, it'd be Halloween 3.
Yeah. I wish I would have got that poster, man. I went for it. Because I love that poster, even though I've never seen the movie, just because I just have never got around to it. I feel bad. Every year I mean to. I just haven't. But that poster's so sweet. I wish, out of all the posters, that one's my favorite. This
Oh,
this
here
part
we
right here
go.
is so legit. And this is where Jamie Lee Curtis actually had to start working again. I love the memes where it's like surprise colonoscopy.
Finger.
It's like I love it.
Dude, the way the shoes drop.
Yeah.
And see, I feel like part of what makes it kind of haunting is we don't know where Michael Myers was a lot of his stay at HMH. So I feel like part of what he was doing was getting the layout to know what avenue she would take to try and escape.
It could be, yeah. Well, and he could be just like once again like a tornado, like a force of nature, where he just was spiraling, right? Getting a lay of the land, waiting for it, and then striking. This right here, I would have just, god dang, that hair and that face is so creepy. I actually,
It's like,
I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say it right now. I prefer the mask in this movie over the original. I'll say it.
I agree. It's way scarier, just the way that it's the way it fits to his face, the way he's got this like I don't care attitude with it versus the first one where it looks kind of neat and kind of well kept.
On this one, it's like becoming more evil with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's becoming more nasty, and I
The
just,
spray paint in the hair is kind of worn out, so
you
that
know,
brown sticking through to look kind of dirty.
yeah, this mask is so good.
What a random place for a window.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Who gives a f- about glass?
Well, Dwayne, I'm not the one that just got on national television.
I do like the hospital scene in Rob Zombie's H2, and I like that this red scene here. I feel like this tension is what Rob Zombie wanted that whole hospital scene, which is why everything's kind of red in that.
Right. Oh yeah, like the first movie's all about like blue, and it's almost like the storm is on the horizon, right? Like the storm's coming in. This is like, bro, thunder, lightning, hurricane is here. You know what I'm saying? It just the same thing with the music, right? The synth, the beats a little bit faster. It's it just, even though Michael's moving slower, it just, man, oh man, it just raises the stakes.
He totally could have opened that door if he had wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I think there might be a part of him that doesn't want to kill her because once he kills her, the it's over. You know what I mean? Like that part is done. Like it's the same thing. Like maybe he realizes he killed his sister too fast. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, he stabbed her 37 times or whatever, but uh,
Yeah.
there could be a thing where we've seen it in movies where bad guys, they ramble on, they give up their whole scheme because they want to bask in it, they want to enjoy it. So I mean, I'll buy it. I'll buy that. You know, it fits.
I feel like every movie where the villain starts revealing the plot, I'm like, you have about 6 minutes left before this ends badly for you.
Right.
Did you see Black Widow yet?
No.
Well, it's a really great example of that.
Yeah.
Once we get to it, we'll have to talk about that scene in particular. But
Dude, I've bought so many horror movies from the 80s. I don't know when I'll ever get to them. Like The Howling, The Fog, I bought Shocker. Um,
man, The
where
Fog is one of my childhood favorites. I remember when I got that movie, I had like a bootleg VHS, and I just fell in love with that movie. And then learning that John Carpenter hated it once he saw it kind of just made me really sad.
Yeah. Well, he hated this movie too. Like God, he called it in was it 1984? I think he was in an interview, and he said that he called this movie an abomination. I was like, dude, like you're just, like, I feel like John Carpenter, no offense, was like an angry old man. Like he just didn't want to be told what to do. He didn't want people's expectations. He was like, you're gonna love me for me or go. He was like the he was like the rated R version of Rob Zombie. Like where Rob Zombie's like NC-17, John
Yeah.
Carpenter's like rated R PG-13. Like, see, once again, this is Donald Pleasance just loving to hear his own voice. Like, I just, I hope, I wish that they could get somebody like the tapes at the beginning of 2018. I want to hear more of that. Like, let's expand on that a little bit. Like, let's do.
I guarantee you we are going to get a lot more of that in Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends.
I can't
Like,
wait, man. I'm
I
I,
know
I've got one more week to make it without any spoilers.
I'm going to dump all the spoilers for you while we're watching the trailer. I'm going to tell you everybody I know, what happens to them. I'm going to tell you everything I know.
See, it's like Candyman. I didn't watch the trailer. I watched the teaser and that was it. Like you were like, the spoilers in the Candyman trailer. Like I don't want to see spoilers. Like what is your problem? Like I'm gonna watch teasers and that's it.
With Candyman, like before the trailer was even released, we all kind of knew that it was going to be a torch passing kind of deal. And I don't know why. Like it wasn't announced or anything, but it was just like the big fan theory. And when the trailer like opens up and you see that there is a Candyman that isn't Tony Todd, and then you see um our new character who's like just like falling apart, and part of that was his hand. it was just like, oh, yeah,
Right,
fan theory, right.
right. But they're just, yeah, I just don't understand. Like a lot of the good twists and flavor of that movie was just freaking ruined by the trailer. And thank God I didn't see it because I feel like I got a better, fresh perspective of the movie, and I appreciate the little twists and the differences. And I appreciate the twists and differences so much that like I said before, I think it's a better movie if you delete the first movie, because I really appreciate what the movie was going for, but the flavors were so off. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand what's wrong with people. I understand you got to get butts in the seats and you got to give people enough to where they're sold to watch the movie, but God dang, you can't give away everything. Otherwise, like it takes the joy out of the suspense.
I think that the worst
Oh,
version
don't.
of that in any trailer was Terminator Genesis. The
Oh,
one
brutal.
thing that that film had to give the audience that would have maybe made the experience better for the general audience, they threw it in the first trailer.
Yep. Yep. Oh man, dude, the panic right there, like you can feel it, like in the suspense. I love it. She can't get it started, and then like when Michael steps out and you just that thing hits again. Like as a kid, I was like, oh my God. I don't know. It's probably because this last little bit lingers a lot. The tension lingers longer than the original movie for Laurie and Michael. Um,
Yeah.
to where I don't know. As a kid, like I said, the first movie's good and it's suspenseful, but this movie as a kid really freaked me out, especially that opening with the pumpkin splitting and everything. Man, I don't remember. I'm glad that I know, Rick Rosenthal wanted a movie more similar to the original with like less slasher and blood, but I am glad that John Carpenter did go back and direct the more intense scenes and bloody scenes. I think it does add to the movie. I think it's better because of it.
Yeah. I feel like
Do kind of hate that she lost her voice right there. Like she lost her voice until they shut the doors. Like I don't know. I get it. It's fine. It just I don't know. I would have rather her been stuck in the car for another minute and she can't get out of the car and scream and then she opens the door. I just think losing. I don't know. I've never been this panicked in my life, but
I thought it. I mean, it bugs me, but I moved past it. For
yeah.
me, what I wanted to talk about real quick was the Loomis holding a gun to a sheriff is totally the Loomis in Halloween 5 that we like. This is totally building to that Loomis.
See, I love it too. Like right here, like Loomis Michael's in the outskirts of the hospital, and when he steps out, it's like he owns that area, right? Like he is the
Yeah.
master of that area, and he's like, "We're going back into the heart of it. You cannot escape me. I'm your fate." I just love that scene. He just has like that red glow. It just gives him all the power and suspense. Like,
And
nice.
again, the way the mask looks on his face,
Hmm.
that is so haunting.
Yeah, and I know everybody complains about it, but I think it's better. I think it looks better on him.
And then when he terminators this door,
Yeah, like it doesn't even exist. Like it's nothing to him. He just walks right through it. The handle and everything. It's almost like, yeah, like he has an invisible force field. Three darts is too much. Ugh.
that's what we should cover.
Oh God, so good. I can't remember.
Honestly, I don't care. When Nature Calls is so much better.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was gonna ask you that, you dummy. The first movie's a higher quality movie. I'll say that the second one's funnier, but the
No,
first movie's a higher class of movie.
second one's way better.
Yeah. Can't believe they never made a third one.
Oh, they're gonna, just without Jim Carrey.
Well, they already made a prequel with his kid.
I really don't understand what the whole, like, let me get down as close as I can.
Right.
Meow.
Let me just show you this. What you gonna do now, man?
And even though they didn't show how he fully got up, the way they focused in on him looked so mechanical.
Right. Rising from the like from yeah. Once again, defying death, becoming death, making the hospital where, I mean, most people are afraid of because they're afraid to die, right? Like all that culminating in Myers in this movie is like it just it gives me chills, man. Like this movie is so good. And that mask is so creepy. God, that mask is creepy.
And as much as we can all talk about how much we love Halloween 4, like the quality drops
It's a
really
B.
hard.
Oh man, these one and two are A movies. They're quality. Halloween 4 and 5, man. Like even though like it's shot pretty well, it's a B movie compared to these. You lost some of the actors, you lost the quality, not as good directors. No offense to them, but I mean, you had a worse. The mask sucked compared to these. Like stupid shoulder pads. Like it just brutal.
I really do wonder, excuse me, how much when they saw George P. Wilbur and they put him in shoulder pads, how much of that was due to like Jason being a bigger, more brooding character? And they were
Uh,
like, oh, maybe we can have Michael be a little bit bigger.
yeah,
Because,
I don't know because Jason actually got I mean, he got wider, but Kane Hodder was on set by that time because that was '88. So Kane Hodder
yeah,
was
he was
already there.
quite
So you already
funny.
been through Ted White and Richard
Rooker.
Brooker. So Jason was big, but he wasn't as. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I love how he just beast
Brooker
modes
and
through this
CJ
door.
Graham were big.
Yeah. Mask is so scary. See, and I once again I want to do a video on like Loomis, the relationship between Loomis and Myers. Like Myers never wanted to kill him. Like he even paused there, and there's almost like a little regret. Like I had to. You were in my way. Like, but he didn't kill him. Kill him. Like
And
he didn't.
Loomis looked surprised that he would stab him.
Right. Right. Exactly. I love that the hand going down and the tilt, slow tilt. Can't see the eyes. Mask is great. Yeah, you can see the eyes just a little bit bleeding out of them. God, that's iconic. God, it's so good. She drops the gun. What is it with Lori and dropping the knife and the gun? Like I understand she's not like, she's supposed to be the final girl, right? The scream queen. She sucks. I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry. Like everybody
He's no Ripley.
puts her on top five. She probably wouldn't even make my top five. Like
She's no Ripley.
no. She was awesome in H2O. She's good in 18, but God, 1 and 2, she's garbage. I love that slow, powerful swing he's got. Like it's so good. I know Dick Warlock hated this scene. He thought he looked stupid, but he looks good. He killed this.
Yeah, I think it's funny whenever he talks about it how he absolutely loathes this.
I think like I mean 2 bullets to the head, like yeah, it's not killing him, but it messed him up. Like right, you can't see he's hurt.
Yeah.
Meow, meow, meow. See, meow. Okay. I love that. He's like big gulps, huh? Yep. See you later. It's done.
See,
Michael just took it like a champ. He's like, all right, I'm done. Whatever.
the
Or am I?
opening, the
Or
opening of Halloween 4 is great in a way and also terrible in a way. It's great for the exposition. It's great for the way that it was shot. The dialogue was delivered great, but also dead.
right. Dun 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 dun. This is like such a ripoff of Jaws, and then Terminator so ripped this off. Yeah, I wish they would have hired like that's Dick Warlock, and they actually had to fill the scene twice. He got burnt really bad by the zippers because they weren't covered, and then they had to do it again. I wish they would have used a really skinny dude and put a suit over him. That way, like it because he looks thick. Like and I get the shot looks great. I hold nothing against it. I just would have gone with a really skinny um, uh, stunt performer in that one, just to kind of help that out a little bit. But that ending, he's dead. Like he's burning alive. You see his face literally burning out. Like that's why
Yeah.
I understand Halloween 4, but I wish at least Halloween 4 would have had like a like pick up right like they were supposed to like Michael Myers or Loomis was going to be like blown through a wall and that's like how he survived. But what I would have done was like go back and shoot that a little bit, have people rush in and put Myers out, right? And then you put out Loomis as well, and that's how you save their lives. And you see them rushing them into the hospital, right? Like maybe you see Loomis and Myers in the same ambulance, right? Just I just would like had you film. It's almost like at the beginning of Halloween 5, right, where they kill him at the end of the fourth movie, right? And then they throw dynamite in there as the reason why they didn't go get the body. They threw dynamite. You correct if you're going to move forward, you correct on some of those mistakes. I really think that what they should have done was just have a paramedic or just have dudes run in there real fast and put Loomis and Myers out real quick. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I think that the choice to continue without Carpenter and without
see right here.
Jamie Lee Curtis
Now,
was
sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My fault. My fault.
was kind of rough. That's really what may set up the franchise for some of the failure that it had. And I'm a fan of 4, 5, and 6. I enjoy them, even though 5 is bottom spot movie. Yeah.
Here's what. So that's the problem, right? Like, I like 4, 5, and 6 on their own merits, but if you can rip them apart real fast because, like we said, you don't have John Carpenter in any way, shape, or form in Halloween 4 for the most part. You don't have Jamie Lee Curtis. Loomis is dead at the end of this movie. Like if Myers is dead, like Loomis is super dead. So then you have to have like all this disbelief, and you really have to, I don't know. Then you got to care about this 6-year-old child like Danielle Harris or 8 or whatever she is in that movie. It's a lot to grab onto and go, and it's also it's 10 years detached from the original movie timeline wise. It's one of those things where it was underappreciated, so people overappreciate it now because the first 2 are great. You know what I'm saying? It's like we were talking about the original movie. We don't really go for the original movie that often because we've seen it so many times, and it's so simplistic that it doesn't have a lot of quirkiness to it that draws us in, that we look for the details because it's great. It's just great all the way through. But that's the problem with 4, 5, and 6 is it's just the decline in quality. Like, and it's not really their fault. They did the best they could. Well, excuse me, 4 did the best it could for what it had, but 5 and 6 screwed the pooch.
I think 4 did really good with what they had, and I think 6 really attempted to use what was popular at the time to make 5 work because that's the job that a young fan of the films was given. And
Well, he was a writer at this time. Like he was getting into writing, but he was a writer at this time. I know people like to just say him as a fan, but yeah, he was a fan, but he was also a writer at the time.
Also being actually being a fan of the films walking in and it's mid 90s and somebody's like, you have to explain what happened in Halloween 5, and you're just like, I have to what?
Well,
I
actually,
can't.
I think the script was actually dropped off in early 90s. I think it was, I think he, I can't remember, I feel bad now. I can't remember the writer's name, but he actually met with Mustafa Akkad in the early 90s, and Mustafa Akkad was like, okay, leave your script right there, we'll call you. And like, it was like 4 years later when he actually called him. Like he completely was like, like Mustafa didn't like blow him off, but he really didn't give him much of the time of day. And then he called him years later when they were actually wanting to do something with it. Um, and
Yeah.
from what I understand, like the dude wrote like what he called a Bible of Halloween 6, like the rules and how everything worked and why it all made sense to make Halloween 6 and all this stuff. And so he spent all this time and he just like thumped it down on Mustafa Akkad's desk, and Mustafa Akkad was like, "Hey, we'll let you know." He was like, so I mean, I'm glad it worked out for him, but yeah, it's
But
I
still, like being tasked with that, like wanting to make it all work. Halloween 6 is it it tries to explain. And I feel like after Halloween 5, that's like all that you can do. Like just try and explain. Could it have been done better? Yes. Could it have been done worse? Oh God, yes. They could have made Halloween 5 Part 2.
well, I mean, I wonder if had they left in the Doctor Death scene, like somebody that on a cult level or spiritual level or supernatural level brought back Michael and like super gave him more supernatural abilities kind of a thing, you know what I mean? Had like I think that would have led more into the cult aspect and worked a little bit better. But like I've said before, is I would have done for Michael Myers what I would have done the Agents of Shield. I would have had a cult that didn't necessarily control Michael Myers, but made sure nothing was in his way. That would like was they were planning on breaking him out of prison. That's the reason why he escaped. They almost like not necessarily finance, but they guard him and they protect him and help him move forward. You didn't have to really go that nutty with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have just focused on some supernatural stuff. Like these guys, it's almost like they serve like John Carpenter's vampires, right? Like they serve Dracula, not they serve the vampire to hopefully become the vampire, to become supernatural and immortal.
Yeah.
Make deals with the devil kind of a thing. Like focus in on more of that maybe instead of just like the runes and the family sacrifice, which I get to a degree because you kind of had to. You had to. But the baby thing was so stupid. It made no sense. Why was he trying to kill his sister, his niece, and then the niece's baby, his baby, spoiler alert, to end, like, why was he trying to kill those two if he needed a baby to kill to end the curse? Like, why did you prolong the family line if you needed to destroy the line? Unless you needed virgin, innocent blood, which you had with your niece, which you had with Lori. Why did you
You are
need to do that?
you're trying to over explain the sixth installment in a franchise.
Well, the baby aspect was so stupid. It's the worst part of Halloween 6, and you'll never.
So here's here's my take on it. It was the 90s and satanic cults and crazy wild spooky crap was the center of what sold horror films at the time. For better or for worse, that would involve child sacrifice, and somebody got the wild idea that it should be his kid. That is probably exactly to a T what it was.
Why wouldn't you just
Probably
like?
more deeper than that.
Why wouldn't you just have like? I don't know, because it's hard because like he's trying to kill Daniel Harris, Jamie Lloyd throughout the entire 4 and 5. So it's hard to say like how can you do a movie And 89 was 5, and then 95 was the next one. So 6 years later, how do you do that? Like, do you make it like Lori was 17? Do you do the 17 angle like they did in H2O? Like, um, just sacrifice her and move on to where Michael's free. Like, and then the cult, I don't know, makes him work. I don't know. 6 was screwed to begin with. I don't know. It sucks. I mean, but whatever. We'll get there eventually. Let's see. So we have uh, this week, next week, we go see Kills, right?
Yep.
Next Friday,
Next
we see
Friday.
Kills. Are we doing something next Thursday to prepare for it? Are we going to go? Are we just going to do a live thing in the car on Friday, and that'll just be, we'll skip Thursday and we'll just do like a very late all-nighter on Friday?
Oh, not an all-nighter.
Well,
Not
you
an
know what I mean,
all-nighter.
though. You know what I mean, like movie and then review. Like, we'll just sit there and go live and ramble after the movie.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, let's do that then. We won't do next Thursday, but we'll go in on Friday and well, okay, yeah. That'll work. We'll do that. Yeah, yeah.
All right, that's the plan.
That's the plan. So overall, Halloween 2, 1981. Love it. Everybody did a good job. Rick Rosenthal nailed it. Don't know what happened later on. Uh, Dean Cundy freaking nailed it. Dick Warlock, amazing. Jamie Lee Curtis, what a paycheck. She slept through it. Way to go. Eh, what a good movie, man. Like, I know we give each other a hard time about 18 and 81, um, but this movie is, God, I love this movie.
I do too. There's a reason that I actually do favor it as a sequel. I mean, to me, it's going to be hard to top that, and I don't think any Halloween film that comes out will. Um, I might thoroughly enjoy another Halloween movie that comes out to the point that I'll put it up there, but it's not going to surpass that for me. It just plugs in so well to H1. It it has a build on the tension from the first one. I mean, like going from barely seeing the shape to seeing to like following him around to seeing him get more and more and more brutal. Like, and it didn't change the characters, didn't change actors, didn't change it. I mean, besides Nick Castle, the Dick Warlock, but it it built instead of tearing blocks away and then plugging things in to hope it works.
100%, man. 100%. Like I said, I don't think, in no disrespect at all to Nick Castle, I just don't think he could have done a better job than Dick Warlock. And I'm not saying Dick Warlock's better. I'm just saying that from what was left, and like, he was the shape. He is the shape. He's not trying to imitate Nick Castle, which he was. I mean, obviously he was, but he was his own. He was the shape. Like way to go, man. Like, everything was phenomenal. You didn't copy necessarily things. You just did your own thing. You added where you needed to. They called back where they should. I just, way to go. Like, like we're talking about the other movies and stuff like that, and really respect. And I respect all the actors who played Michael Myers. Like, yeah, it's just, I mean, a lot of them had a lot of problems that wasn't necessarily their fault or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway, thanks guys. Thank you for Jabari. Thank you, Jabari, for hanging out with us. I'm sorry I couldn't see your comments. Sorry I had technical difficulties. My headphones died and I'm super depressed. But I'll buy some new ones, I guess. Sucks. But yeah, we will be back next week with Halloween Kills. Super excited. Caleb, last question. Are you going to get the trial or whatever of Peacock to watch it again?
No.
No, you're just gonna watch it in theaters maybe 1, 2 times, call it a day.
Yeah.
What's crazy if you think about it, and I can't remember. I was listening to the stuff in the background. Somebody was saying that it's crazy to think that the Blu-rays are already made, and the 4Ks are already made, sitting in a warehouse as we speak, and that they will be out in like 3 months from now. Like, it's crazy to think that the Blu-rays were made before the movie's released because they're made in another country and they've got to ship here and all that other stuff. It's crazy to me to think in 5 months I could have that on my shelf sitting right there. like with hopefully the NECA figure. I might actually have the movie before I have the figure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. I'm super
Yeah.
excited. I can't wait. I'm so pumped. I cannot wait. I love that I know little to nothing about Halloween Kills. I'm super sad that we didn't cover all the news about Halloween Kills and try to use that to our advantage to help our channel grow. And I will say something else too. Somebody else messaged me the other day on our video of Does Michael Myers Kill Kids? And he says, wow, you guys are still, and I don't know if he was being a turd about it. He was like, wow, you guys still comment on your old videos, or if he was like, wow, you guys comment on your old videos. You can't tell the tone if they don't use certain emojis or whatever. But I messaged him and I was like, yeah, like that's the benefit of having a smaller channel and the fact that we care. We want to talk to people. We appreciate people that come in here and talk to us and comment on our videos and things like that. And we love talking about horror, me and you. We do this all the time. We do it for fun. We don't do this because we get thousands of views, because we make a lot of money. We do this because we enjoy talking about horror movies together and with other people. So yeah, I will comment on old videos and forever because this is what this is our hobby. This is what we grew up with, and we grew up in a time where nobody talked about horror movies. I didn't have any. I had like one friend that would watch horror movies with me occasionally. Um, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just nice to have a platform where we can, especially like this, where even with everything going on, we can still hang out. So I just want to say that, Caleb, I appreciate you doing this with me. I appreciate that you don't get tired of it, and I appreciate it.
Hold on. Hold on. I gave a heart.
Ah, I'm just saying, it's awesome. It's awesome. I wish, there was a time like I would collect this stuff and my wife would just roll her eyes. And your wife's not a big horror fan too. And as your best friend, right, as your wife, right, you wish that you could share that with them, and you just can't. So it's nice to have a friend that you can do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, she's supportive as she can be. For God's sakes, I bought the Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 5 figure.
Right.
Oh, God. And she was there for it, and it happened. Yeah.
Right. Same thing with my wife. But yeah, as far as like watching a lot of them, that ain't gonna happen. But anyway,
No.
just wanted to say that, and appreciate it. Super excited to have a friend to go nuts with the next one. Super excited to have you for 18, just because, I just, somebody else would have just watched and be like, yeah, that's another Halloween movie, that's another horror movie. But you get the history and the all about it. So.
We got to talk about what we're going to do for our Halloween special, what movie we should cover.
On Halloween? Yeah. Oh, man. There's a lot of good ones. I mean, we could Trick or Treat. There's Wolf Cop that Brittany wanted us to do. There's Halloween 3. I've never seen Halloween 3. I should probably rectify that. Like, we need to gear up for Scream in January. You need to gear up for Texas Chainsaw. There's a lot of good stuff we could do. There's always Ernest Scared Stupid.
Man, I was really sad because that was on Netflix or Amazon or something recently, and I went to watch it the other day, and it was like, pay for it. I'm like, no, I'm not paying for a movie I used to own.
Right.
But I'll probably wind up paying for it again.
Hey, do me a favor, man, real quick. I'm sorry, I know you probably need to get out of here, but remind me, just before we go see Kills, because we'll see each other, to bring 1 hour photo and shoot Disturbia, because I was going to give you those two.
I will try and remember that.
And I'm going to give you Red Heat too, Red Heat, because I got that on DVD. I'm just going to go ahead and give that to you too, because you're working on your Arnold collection. I love that movie. That movie's underrated.
Movie. It is. I feel like it's one of the movies that should have had a lot more attention. That and Raw Deal. Should have had a lot more attention. Okay, so Raw Deal is a lot more like slicked back action, kind of like that super cheesy 80s action, but it works really, really well. And Arnold looks absolutely disgusting and terrifying in the movie at the same time. I don't know how else to explain it. He's got slicked back hair, and it's not like his normal like back. It's like the stuck to the scalp slicked back. Oh man, it's weird looking, but it's really good. And yeah, Red Heat is just absolutely underrated.
Underrated, dude. That's like something I like. held close to my chest as like this like secret that nobody else knew about. You know what I mean? Like everybody loves Arnold, but like nobody talks about this one. This one's mine. Like as a kid, I wore the bejesus out of that VHS tape. That's one of
Yeah.
them. When I got rid of it, I was super sad to see it go. I was like, I've watched you so many times.
Yeah. Parakeet.
Yeah, so good. I love it at the end when they're sitting there like having coffee or whatever, and they're watching baseball, and they're like, you guys could never play. The Russians could never play baseball. Forget about it. It's our national pastime. He was like, but it'd be a heck of a World Series, and Arnold just goes, we would win. That was it. But
That's
yeah,
good.
so good. Everything in that movie is just like an American like loudmouth action dude, like no nonsense, goofy, and then you got Arnold just like that once again that Terminator Russian like we're better, we're stronger, we're tougher. I love it. He's got like the Dirty Harry 44 mag, and he's like, no, my gun, the huge cannon he's got is actually the most powerful handgun in the world. He's like, shut up. It's just God, I love that movie.
It's a
But
great movie.
anyway, all right, yeah, we need to work on that too, because God, yeah, Halloween's gonna be here before you know it. God, we could actually watch Halloween Kills together through Peacock. Like you could come over here. Well, I might actually be out of town. We got to work on that too. We might have to just do one before Halloween. But anyway, I'll let you go. It's late enough. It's almost 11. But anyway,
Yeah.
super fun. So glad to watch this movie, man. And I know we've been giving each other a hard time, but I do really, really love this movie. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Me too.
All right, everybody. Good
Yeah.
night. Halloween 2018 commentary will be up tomorrow. So look up for
Cool.
that. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.